Lawrence, digital disruption in wealth, where is it heading?
Ultimately to create a venue where people today like to interact over social networks, for example, and I think banks need to work towards a strategy over the near term where they're going to be able to connect to their clients over a digital channel and then expand those services that they offer them over that channel. So, for example, the initial service that they may wish to offer is the ability to send out investment advice which has been analysed against the client's portfolio, against the asset allocation that they require, against the interest that they have in different types of investment products, and make it a relevant experience for them in terms of what investment decisions to make. The next logical step after they establish that channel with their RM will be to provide other services that allow them to communicate more effectively with the RM, be able to integrate in other contacts that they may wish to have, receive information from various sources within the financial institution and maybe outside of the financial institution.
And how will clients interact with their wealth managers in the future?
As time progresses, they're going to demand that that interaction will happen through interactive channels. I think more importantly for financial institutions to understand is clients will want to be connected to multiple wealth management organisations. Technology will afford them the ability to liaise quite easily with several wealth managers from different organisations and be able to take the most relevant or the best advice that they receive. Now, the other area that organisations need to be aware of is that that advice is going to be measurable over time. So if you receive an investment idea from your wealth manager, regardless of if you take it or not, that idea can be captured in a big data database. It can be tracked over time to the point where you could measure, say, the return on investment relative to the risk of that particular idea. Eventually you're going to see that wealth managers will be ranked in the same way that if you were playing a PlayStation game, where you'll be able to see on star rankings how well they performed across various asset classes linked to the ideas that they put out to the market.
And what capabilities will banks need to operate in this new business environment?
Banks need to ultimately be able to create the most efficient supply chain possible. Right now you'll find that they may have various, some automation, but in a number of areas they've got manual processes in that supply chain. And a supply chain, like any other chain, is only as strong as its weakest link. If you get to a point where you end up doing too much manual work at a particular point in that supply chain, then regardless of how much business is coming through the door, you're not going to be able to process it efficiently, and ultimately your clients will get frustrated. So banks need to first be able to optimise and automate their supply chain as much as possible. Now that doesn't mean that the RM is no longer involved. Quite to the contrary. The RM gets to focus specifically on what they should be doing, and that is not administration work, but in being able to provide relevant advice and be able to service their client accordingly. Once they can achieve that milestone, the organisation can then start to explore more enhanced ways to be able to target products to their customers and be able to scale their business accordingly.